What's up, guys? This is Simon Jackson from the Fresh Take Sports Podcast with Riken from Nevell and Nekyr YT. So, this is our reference page, what we're going to be based off of for this video, what we will be covering during this podcast. And yeah, let's get started. Jackson, take it away with the Week 11 and Thanksgiving recap.
Okay, so the Cowboys' offense last week was horrendously bad, but this week they actually played very well against a really good Raiders defense with a great pass rush, but not so good secondary. But the offense just isn't the problem. It's the defense. Oh my God, they let up 400 yards to a Raiders offense, and I mean, whoever that corner was who had 4 pass interferences, I can't remember his name at the top of my head right now, but he had 4 pass interference calls, and they were all on third down. So I really think the defense is just killing the Cowboys right now.
Yeah, like you said, Anthony Brown was just not performing to what he should be performing to, making sloppy passing interferences, and all around hurting that Cowboys defense, and that's why they lost in overtime.
Yeah.
Plus, he hadn't had a flag all season, and then this game he had 5 or 4 pass interference flags. I'm like, it's just the whole defense. And the problem with Trevon Diggs is he gets picks and all, but he just goes for the ball. He doesn't even go for the player. No, he just goes for the ball. A few weeks back in the Patriots game on the Kendrick Bourne 80-yard touchdown, he went for the ball and just missed Kendrick Bourne, and Kendrick Bourne was gone. It's just, that's the problem with Diggs.
Adding on, this Cowboys team this Raiders team, they just lost to the New York Giants, and the Cowboys are losing to them now. Like, the Cowboys should be ashamed of themselves, really. Bills, they did what was expected of them against the Saints team with no Jameis Winston and Taysom Hill and no Alvin Kamara.
I think to add to that, reported by Ian Rappaport like an hour ago, officially, Tre'davious White has torn his ACL and is out for the season. So that's a big part of their defense, and they got to work around that for the upcoming playoffs.
Let's go to Monday Night Football. This was just a complete blowout against the Bucks to the Giants. Giants played sloppy. Tom Brady is in his GOAT ways, and yeah, just what was expected. Anything else you guys want to add?
I do actually have something. I've seen something all over TikTok saying Kadarius Toney, Kenny Galladay, Saquon Barkley all had the same amount of touchdown receptions as Andrew Thomas, an offensive lineman.
That's just crazy. I mean, that was a big man play, which was insane.
I think they signed Kenny Galladay to a $40 million deal, and he's done nothing. Even when he was not injured, he's done nothing. He's just, in their first round pick, he had one good game where he didn't even get a touchdown. I mean,
I agree.
Yeah, I think Daniel Jones' time is running out in New York.
Yeah, I have a feeling he's gonna.
Titans, an upsetting loss to the Texans.
Yes.
That was a crazy loss. The number 1 team going down to one of the worst teams. I think they're gonna bounce back great in this next week. And yeah. Anything else you guys want to add?
Yeah. They I think they probably will bounce back this upcoming week, probably, as they are playing the let me check. They're playing the Patriots. I do think they win this game. I do think they win,
The Patriots
coming off a loss, but it's going to be a hard win it's going to be very close. They do have a chance to lose, but even after that, they're going to have a bounce back week against the Jaguars. But it's going to be definitely close.
Anything else you guys want to add before we move on?
No, not really.
All right. Next topic, the trade deadline. So first, let's cover Von Miller. I think Von Miller and Odell Beckham Jr., he wasn't really a trade, but I want to include him in this. They need to get acclimated. If the Rams are going to try to win the Super Bowl, they need to get acclimated. I don't think they are ready to play. I mean, they're coming up on the bye week. They have the chance to just finally acclimate and get used to it. And then moving on, Zach Ertz. You guys have any comments on that?
Zach Ertz has actually been playing above my expectations in Arizona. When he was playing with the Eagles, he was doing really nothing. But I mean, last week he played amazing. He had touchdown reception and lots of yards. I think Zach Ertz actually might have a bounce back season this year.
Yeah, I agree. Zach Ertz has been playing really well. I think all he needed was just a new quarterback, and that quarterback needed another target, but DeAndre Hopkins. And
no, well, he actually has played, I'm pretty sure, most of his games with Colt McCoy at quarterback. So maybe he just has a problem with Colt McCoy because he's only played 2 games with Kyler Murray. I mean, maybe he's just good with Colt McCoy.
Anybody else you guys want to talk about who's been traded?
Not really. I'm good.
Alright, and then Deshaun Watson. I'm surprised he hasn't been traded yet. I guess Houston just wants to hold on to him. You guys want to add? You guys want to add anything?
Hold up. Cut it. Your monkey got cut out.
So, signings and cuts. Odell Beckham Jr. Oh my god. So, first of all, his dad basically exposed the entire organization of the Browns and Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield sucks, by the way. But anyway, he's on a new team. He needs to get acclimated, like I said earlier, to the Rams offense. For them to just have an insane amount of targets and
including the best receiver this season, Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, Cooper Kupp has really been going off. The only thing is, the reason they cut Deshaun Jackson was because he just wasn't really getting targeted. And though Odell Beckham...
He played well yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, he played fine.
Yesterday.
But though OBJ is stepping in for Robert Woods, I mean, he still may not get a lot of targets because, of course, as soon as the Rams make 2 of the biggest roster veteran moves they could have made, Matt Stafford decides that he's going to go into a slump. So, I mean, I guess we'll just really see how this whole thing plays out with Odell Beckham Jr.
Yeah, I agree with you. Anything Jackson, you gotta add on that?
No, not really. I mean, besides OBJ going to Rams, you gotta get acclimated with the offense, as you said. I just think that OBJ didn't get as many targets as I was expecting him to, but it was his first game, so there's definitely room for improvement. But I definitely think he gotta get used to the new playbook and gotta get used to new everything, new surroundings, new coaching, new everything. And who knows, maybe he'll start up another fight. I don't know.
Yeah, another thing was we had 2 pretty big free agency drops with Adrian Peterson now off the Titans and Le'Veon Bell off of the Ravens.
I was so happy when they signed Adrian Peterson because, all day I love AP, man. It's just it didn't do anything for them besides the 1 touchdown he scored in the Rams game. I think they're just better off with Donta Foreman, Jeremy McNichols, and that's it. And Dontrell Hillard.
Yeah, I think they should be fine with that little group that they have there running back wise, but the move to drop Le'Veon Bell from the Ravens was completely silly and uncalled for. I know he's aging and he might not be performing as he once was on the rival Steelers, but dropping him when you have absolutely no depth at the position is one of the silliest moves. You may have Lamar Jackson able to run with the ground game, but other than that, if he can't get outside the pocket, it falls.
I honestly think, though, that Devontae Freeman's definitely stepping into an RB1 role. He played pretty well in Chicago, but, I mean, I just think that they couldn't keep Le'Veon Bell for money-wise in his play, because he had one touchdown and only like 20 yards in like 3 games, and that's just not worth how much money he was getting. So I think that it was really just the right move, and I know they need running back depth, but there's other guys in free agency that would be much better and much cheaper if you just need running back depth. Because I think Le'Veon Bell is more of a RB2 that like you use like a good amount, kind of like Tony Pollard in a way, especially for the Ravens team. But I just think Devontae Freeman's stepping into that RB1 role, and he just needs an RB2 to be his backup.
Yeah, that's true.
Building off of what you said, another great running back who they could have signed was Philip Lindsay. I know he's not that great anymore, but he just got picked up by the Dolphins recently. So,
yeah, they did just pick him up.
I think Myles Gaskin isn't that good, but I think Philip Lindsay could help him a lot. Most likely.
yeah, he could be the third down back that they need.
Yeah. Speaking of the Titans, though, the Titans have signed Golden Tate to the practice squad. Jackson Cyan, what do you guys really think of that?
Wow, I'm surprised.
I think that's a pretty good sign.
I'm surprised that he's not off the official roster yet. I mean, maybe to get him acclimated to the playbook, but still.
Yeah,
for sure though. Especially,
I mean, AJ Brown's getting plagued with injuries this year, and he's not playing as well as he was supposed to, but he's playing okay enough to where he's an wide receiver 1. And plus, they lost Corey Davis. They need another wide receiver too. I think Golden Tate's a good ad.
Yeah, especially with Julio Jones also battling injuries and obviously regressing from his time at Atlanta.
Yeah.
One more thing, we did have the GOAT of football signed to the Arizona Cardinals this weekend. We had Trace McSorley head to the Cardinals. What do you guys think of that?
It's amazing. The Ravens should have never released him. I'm honestly happy he's out of the Steelers division, as I am a Steelers fan. I didn't want to play him.
I mean,
We beat him.
just some more quarterback depth while Kyler Murray is injured. And
yeah, that's what I was.
Yeah,
And
anything
McCoy gets injured, Trace McSorley's going in.
True.
I mean, he was not bad when he played just little spurts throughout the season of last year. I'd like to see him actually get some time on the field and see if he doesn't actually develop into even like a current Zach Wilson type quarterback. I know he's not great, but just to see him be able to at least acclimate to a starting role would be awesome to see.
Yeah.
Anything else you guys want to add on before we move on?
No, I think that's good. Let's move on.
Alright.
Fantasy. Oh, this is mine. Alright. So this is my specialty, fantasy football. I'm known as the fantasy guy. So I have 2 starts this week and 2 sits. Both, we have 1 wide receiver and 1 tight end for start, 1 running back and 1 receiver for sit. So my first start comes from the Carolina Panthers. My first start is DJ Moore. DJ Moore has had 7 or more targets in every game this season. That means the volume is definitely there. DJ Moore and the Panthers are playing the Dolphins. this upcoming week. And the Dolphins' defense has been one of the worst defenses against receivers this year in fantasy. If DJ Moore gets a touchdown, it could bounce him to a giant or big week.
Alright, I'll get this next one. So the next start is Kyle Pitts from the Atlanta Falcons, the rookie. The Falcons are playing the Jaguars this week, and they have given up the 21st most points to tight ends. In Kyle Pitts' last 6 games, he had 6 or more targets and 5 of them. He only has 1 touchdown, but if he gets in the end zone on Sunday, he could have a big game.
I'll take this first sit. We have Leonard Fournette. The Buccaneers are the second-ranked team against the run on the Colts, and Leonard Fournette's last 3 games, he had less than 12 carries, meaning that he's just not getting played as much as Ronald Jones is now in the receiving game. It's taken away a lot of his workload, meaning he's not going to get as many touches to get big yards and big plays. I'm sure he'll still be a red zone guy, but right now, I don't see him getting as many fantasy points for your teams.
I'll take this next sit. The last sit we have is Jeudy from the Denver Broncos. Jeudy and the Broncos are playing the Chargers, number 3 against receivers defense. Jeudy doesn't have 1 touchdown all season. Also, Jeudy does not have 1 game above 75 yards this year. Plus, he also has Cortland Sutton by his side, and it's just not going to work out for him. Maybe the rest of the season. And I just honestly think if your trade deadline is not here yet, try and ship him away to a different team.
Alright. Moving on, the playoff picture. So, we could see some of the same in the AFC and the NFC. LA still hanging in at that 5th spot. That's probably the best division in football right now.
The NFC West, yeah.
Anybody want to take the AFC?
If not, though, yeah, the AFC North is also looking like a powerhouse team. If there was one division I would think to get all 4 teams into the playoffs this year, if it's even possible, it would definitely be
It's not possible. But 3 teams in this league yet.
I wouldn't say that, though. The Browns and the Steelers are both hanging right around there with the Patriots and the Chargers and the Colts. I think that they all have winning records right now past the midseason, and if they keep it up, they should have a really good chance at getting all 4 teams into the playoffs, and if not, 3 of them at least.
All right, I'll take in the hunt here, and for the NFC side, we have Washington. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. Honestly, I think the Eagles are going to pass them now that Jalen Hurts is playing really well. I don't think Taylor Heineke's that good of a starter. Terry McLaurin's playing very well so far this year, and I just don't think they're going to make the playoffs. For the Giants, I'd say they have like a 7% chance of making the playoffs. I don't think they're going to make it. Now it's Saquon just coming back off an injury, but Saquon's definitely going to play better now that he's getting more playtime. The Saints, with Taysom Hill coming back, that could open an opportunity for them to make the playoffs. Their defense is, they let up 31 points to the Bills. It's not the greatest, but it's okay. Cam Jordan's been playing well. Marshawn Lattimore's been locking up people this year, besides Diggs, who had a great game yesterday. And the Eagles, I already talked about them, how they're going up. There's a team in the hunt right now to make the playoffs in the NFC. I think it's the Eagles. Honestly, I think they can pass the 49ers with Jalen Hurts leading the way. And for the AFC side, the Browns, I think the Browns are not going to make the playoffs now that Baker Mayfield is just not playing that well. Myles Garrett's having a great season. The defense is playing well. But I think this is honestly could be Baker Mayfield's last run in Cleveland if he can't show these last 4 weeks that he can be a starting quarterback. The Colts, I definitely think they will make the playoffs. I think they're going to pass the Bengals. The Bengals are going to drop and take an L to the Steelers this week. Jonathan Taylor is playing out of his mind. Carson Wentz is playing like 2017, a bit worse Wentz. But I just think they're going to make the playoffs. Steelers have a chance at the 7 seed. That loss to the Chargers hurt because They're in the 7th seed right now, but if the Bengals fall out and they beat the Bengals this week, I actually do think they have a pretty good chance at the 7th seed. Raiders, same thing with the Steelers, but a bit higher. If they can beat the Chargers in their upcoming division games, I definitely think they have a chance at the playoffs. And yeah, that's it.
Sounds good. Last up, we have the predictions for the remaining 2021 season. Guys, who do you think is going to pull up and make a run at the playoffs this year?
I'll go first.
As I said earlier, the Colts, 100%. Jonathan Taylor playing out of his mind. Carson Wentz going crazy. Defense playing great. I definitely think the Colts are going to make the playoffs. And the Patriots, same thing, pretty much. Mac Jones is playing. Mac Jones doesn't look like a rookie. He looks like a veteran, honestly. Defense playing great.
Yeah, he looks like he's really come to the game now, and he just looks like he's going to be a really good, almost Tom Brady-like, if not Aaron Rodgers-like quarterback for this franchise, potentially.
Yeah.
What do you think, Cyan?
My bold prediction, this is maybe the boldest prediction, but I honestly think that Giants might make the playoffs. This may come from a bit biased since I am a Giants fan, but my bold prediction is that they make the playoffs.
Well, I don't know.
Also,
they have a lot of interdivision games this upcoming few weeks.
Yeah, and this could be big.
There's a chance there, especially since the NFC currently has no 6-win teams. If they can scrap out a couple, there's a very rare chance that they could make the playoffs if they almost win out here.
Also, to add on, I think that the Rams will overtake the Cardinals if Kyler Murray's injury if Kyler Murray's injury is worse when he comes back.
Yeah, for sure, and I'd definitely be watching the Saints, Panthers, Bengals, and Chargers to maybe make a push and take control of their divisions here in the next couple weeks.
Yeah.
Anything
I
else
like it.
you guys want to add?
Nope, I think that's it, guys.
I think we're good.
Yeah, thank you guys for watching so much. This is Riken from Nevell and Nekyr YT.
This is Cyan Jackson from the Fresh Take Sports Podcast, and basically we would like you guys to subscribe to each of our channels, like and subscribe the video. Just helps each other out. And yeah, thank you for watching. Peace.
Everybody's done a great job on that offensive staff for the years.
Right now the Giants turn to try and answer. Here's Saquon Barkley. And he's off to the races. The 30, the 20, Saquon for 7.
And